You want to go off and design your ideal life. What'd you hear in that video? It's every day. It's an everyday pursuit. It's not 5 days on, 2 days off. That is the employee mindset that they gave us. It is not 5 days on, 2 days off. Imagine you didn't do, like over the course of your life, you only did things for 5 days and didn't do things on the other two, not working towards your goals and dreams, not becoming the best version of you, not reading every day, not having, being in the right environment every day, not focusing on your health every day, not focusing on your relationships every day, right? Like this is an everyday process for us to go off and design our ideal life, for you to get to the life that you don't need a break from. Remember, this life is not about you just accepting the life that you have. You are a co creator in this life. You need to go create the life that you want. But yes, it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not like it's not the simple things, not easy. It's the hardest thing. Getting away from the old version of you and becoming a new version of you, shedding that skin, so to speak, getting you, taking your life to the next level, building the capacity you need to handle the life that you're asking for, going through the adversities, growing your faith, growing your capacity. Like all of these things are the hardest things. That's why it's worth it. And that's why you know it's right. People typically don't ask you to do hard things that aren't the right thing to do. This is how you get there. This is how we get there. If this is important to you, if designing your ideal life is important to you, if growing and becoming and like making your vision come to life, that vision you have in your mind become a reality. If that's important to you, then these are the things you got to pay attention to. You got to make sure that you are consistent in doing this stuff every single day. It's not a mindset of days on, days off, when I feel like it, when I don't. This becomes the habit that you're building to get to that life. Again, the reason why most people don't get there is they don't build these habits. They don't put these things in place for themselves and their families. They don't instill the disciplines. But that's what your work is, y'all. If you're ever confused about what your work is throughout the day, what your work is throughout the weeks. Remember, I started this conversation for those of you that just jumped on, like I started this by saying, hey, we're almost a month into 2026. Literally, next 2 days, January's over. We're into February. We're a 12th of the year down. We're a 12th of the year down. We're solid full 31 days gone in a brand new year. Have you reflected back on how your January went? Did we do anything to implement any changes? Do we do anything differently? Was there anything that we did that was really hard? That was really hard, like by choice hard, not because life is hard, not because this situation outside of us we don't have the capacity for just yet, so it's hard. Not that type of hard, but like you chose to do something that is hard in your control, that's really, really hard. Did we do more of that in January than we did in December? You have to reflect. You have to ask yourself, am I doing the work? Am I doing this work to get to this life, to get better? Part of it is just thinking optimistically and having hope for a future and having right positive thoughts about the future. That's part of it. The other part is the actual day-to-day hard work where you told yourself, held yourself accountable to something where you said, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, no, I did it. Like, I know I'm not going to do that. I really want to go do this, but no, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. Like when I'm in my fasting modes of fasting food, because I fast all types of things, anything that controls you, anything that you can't fast from controls you. So you have to check your flesh to make sure things aren't controlling you. Emotions can control you. Your depressive nature can control you. You have to learn how to, right, start to identify those things. But when I'm in my fasting times, there might be some nights, like I go to bed at like 8 p.m. because I'm so hungry. Like I'm just, my brain can't catch on, right? No matter how much scripture I read, like it's just, my brain's all over. So I just need to go lay down. I just need to do the hard thing, not the thing that's convenient, not the thing I want to do. And I just go do that. When you're in your health journey, and you said, hey, like this is important to me. The vision of me making it to age 110, the vision of me making it to age 97, like whatever that vision is that you have for your life, hopefully, of your health life, of where you're going, the right now of what you choose to put into your body, of how you move your body becomes important. And it's the hard things, not because you feel like doing it, but because the vision of what you're trying to get to is pulling you that direction. It's doing the hard things and being consistent. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret sauce. That's what you heard in the video. Like there's no secret sauce to becoming successful. It's just a matter of doing things consistently, doing the hard things consistently that are helping you get to the life that you want. Doing the hard things consistently that are building your character, that are right eliminating your flesh, like doing the hard things consistently. That's the game. But remember, our brain, our society, the people around us, they are doing the opposite. So even though that might make sense, where it's like, I'm just going to do the hard things consistently, everything around you comes to tell you to do the opposite. Part of your brain is there to tell you to do the opposite. It's to tell you to be comfortable. It's to protect you, your family and friends, the people you call close, right? People that you confide in, they're typically there to comfort you. We don't always have a lot of mentor, leader, right, inspirational people around us, coaches that like don't let us kind of fall victim to our own thoughts and feelings and just continue to push us. Most of the people around us are there because they comfort us, because there's a part of them that's comforting, whether it's in their communication, whether it's how they treat us, whatever it is. Society, social media, marketing, all television shows, all of it is there to make you comfortable. So if your focus is not fully on doing the hard things consistently over and over and training your brain how to do it, you hear the guys in the video get really intense, the Andy Frisillas, the David Goggins, they get really intense because that's how intense it is for them to change their life, to get to that place. They're just trying to instill some of that in others, in you, in us, to just be consistent at the things that you're going after. In our text in 177 Mental Toughness Secrets, it says the world class is consistently great. This is a game of consistency, y'all. It's not a game of starting and stopping. We all have great intentions, and then we start and stop. We start and stop in our health. We start and stop in our relationships. We start and stop in our pursuit of finances. We start and stop in all of these areas. That's why it's really hard to build momentum for people, because they keep starting and stopping. And the difference, if you want to be successful in these areas, is you got to be consistent. 7 days a week, every day, like you consistently getting great. Sure, you're going to have a day. Sure, you're going to have a time that, like, at the end of the day, like, you don't know if you know if you have it in you to go do it, right? Or something happens in life and it knocks you down for a little bit. Like, that's just life. We know the adversities come. But is your mindset about being consistently great? That's where your mind has to be. Here's what it says in the text. It says, a lot of performers are capable of outstanding performance, but the great ones all have one thing in common: consistency. Say that again. A lot of performers are capable of outstanding performance, but the great ones all have one thing in common: consistency. Day after day, they perform at the very highest levels. The reason they're so consistent is because their actions are congruent with their thought process. Say that again. The reason they're so consistent, the reason you can be consistent, is because your actions are in alignment. They're congruent with your thought process. We'll come back to that. It says champions usually have a very clear mental picture of what they want, why they want it, and how to move closer to their target objective. While average people are complaining about the sacrifices they have to make to be great, the champions have already made those decisions and continue to move forward. Erratic performance is the result of erratic thinking. So the first step to mental toughness training is gaining mental clarity. Got to say that sentence again. Erratic performance is the result of erratic thinking, right? Like that's if you change your thinking, you change your life. If we could just get steady in our thinking, our results, our performance, what we do would be steadier. Business leader, mentor would always say, business isn't up and down. Some people in the entrepreneur space think business, oh, my business is up and down. He said, business is not up and down. You're up and down. That's the issue, right? Business it is what it is. It's going to do what it's going to do. But you are up and down. You are high on the highs and low on the lows. You're here one day, down here the next day. Erratic performance is the result of erratic thinking. It says here. So again, the first step in mental toughness training is gaining mental clarity. Champions invest an inordinate amount of time thinking, planning, and clarifying their goals and targets, as well as mapping out an exact action plan for attainment. Consistency in performance is the direct result of knowing why it is necessary to perform well and the benefits that will accrue, especially when the going gets tough and pain sets in. Consistency is also created by practice. Consistency is also created by practice. Third time's the charm. Consistency is also created by practice. Champions are usually thought of as people with the most talent, and sometimes this is true, yet champions are known to invest large blocks of time practicing their craft long after everyone else has gone home. Practice may not make perfect, but it does create consistency in performance. So this word consistency, how much of it do you have in your life? In what areas are you consistent? What areas are you not consistent? In the areas that you're not consistent, I would challenge you to get a stronger vision of that area of your life. Erratic performance is the result of erratic thinking. And the first step is gaining mental clarity. So if you don't want erratic thinking because you really want to have a more steady performance, you want to be more consistent in your health. Like you don't want to diet, you want to have a lifestyle of eating, a lifestyle of moving your body. Then you have to figure out exactly what you want, like the clarity, that's where it starts. What you want, why you want it, how to get it. Clarity. Then you can start being steady in the way that you're thinking about things because you have a goal, you have an end in mind, you know where you want to get to. So now you can start thinking properly to get you to that place. And that'll get your performance to be more consistent in your health, in your business, with your relationships, in your financial life, in your spiritual life. Like any area, you guys, again, I always want you to remember that. We might talk monetary success, but success you get to define. You get to define what success looks like, but there's principles, there's laws applied to how to get to these levels of success. One of the things we've all got to work on is our consistency. Your consistency. How consistent are you at doing the things you know you should be doing, the things you need to do, not when you feel like doing, all the time, right? That's the key. That's the key. And I know sometimes we struggle in consistency. We struggle. Why? Because external things in life happen. You can't stop your family member from that thing happening, that health issue, that person got sick, that person passed away. You had an argument, you had a financial hiccup, you had something happen for you. Like it's all the same stuff. That's the stuff that causes us to not be consistent. Right? I was talking to one of our teammates and I was having a conversation, asking him a question, and I was like, "You're being consistent at this part of your business, right? The social media part for a long time. You're being consistent. Do you remember the first day you fell off?" This is where I took him back to, because sometimes when I'm like, "Oh, you were consistent doing that. What happened?" It's like, "I don't know. I just got busy and and this happened." Okay, got it. More specific. Do you remember the first day you fell off? Right? Like if you're at the gym and you go to the gym 5 days a week, 7 days, whatever, you go to gym 5 days a week. Do you remember the first day you woke up that morning and was like, man, I really can't do it today. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. That day, the first day when you were being consistent at something, and then the one day came and then you didn't do the thing. Where were you at mentally? What were you thinking about during that day? What were you feeling? And if you can go back and address that one moment that day, you can start to get clear on your own habits, on why you start and stop things. Normally, it's the erratic thinking. Erratic performance is the result of erratic thinking. So if you've been consistently doing something, you normally have a day where your thinking goes away, where you aren't thinking in the same ways. Your thoughts are leading you to other feelings, other things, and you get away from the consistency. So this process, y'all, and how we go off and design our ideal life is how do we stay focused in our thinking to stay consistent with the things we say we want? Because our actions are congruent with our thoughts. That's where it starts. That's why, again, the thesis, if you change your thinking, you change your life. All of this stuff starts with our mind, with our mindset, with what we allow into our mind, with our beliefs that we have. That determines everything else. Everything else, all the things you want to get to, starts here. Starts here, right? This action step for today says to gain mental clarity and focus, create a written vision for your life. Imagine life 5 to 10 years in the future and list all you've done, accumulated, and become during this time. Use this letter to a friend format that they talked about in here. Let your creative mind freewheel without any thought of how you will achieve these things. Be sure to include as many details and as much emotion as possible. When you have a world-class vision for your life, you've taken the first step towards world-class performance. It starts with a vision. It starts with a clear, compelling vision. Imagine your life 5 to 10 years from now and write down all the things you've accomplished, the man or woman that you are at that side. Not what you hope to be, not what you exactly what you are 5 to 10 years from now, and be as clear as possible, as detailed as possible. Then once you have that, we can start backtracking and we can start getting to a place where we are putting things in place to design our ideal life, y'all. That's the process. I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's not. It's really hard. And it's going to be really worth it. It's the hardest thing you're going to do. It's one of the hardest things you're probably going to do in your life is becoming the next version of yourself, going from the old you to the new you, unlearning old things, relearning new things. It's going to be a really tough process, and it's worth it. People are counting on you. They're counting on you to get the information and to do something with it because it's building your capacity to handle the life that you're asking for. So you got to go out and make it happen, y'all. Do something this weekend that scares you, that pushes you out of your comfort zone. If it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. We're going to end the full first month of the year. Hopefully, January was way different than December. Hopefully, it didn't feel like the same thing, just a new month. That way, February will feel a lot different than January if this is your mindset, if this is your focus. Go do something that challenges you, pushes you out of your comfort zone. We'll be right back here on Monday. Love you guys. Take care.